Communication after 60, how to feel heard without fighting. After 60, one of the deepest needs in any relationship is not to win every conversation. It is to feel heard, not corrected immediately, not dismissed, not talked over, not treated like you are being too sensitive, just heard. Because sometimes the fight is not really about the words. It is about the feeling underneath the words. The feeling that says, "Do you still see me? Do I still matter to you? Can I tell you the truth without being punished for it? Can we talk without turning this into a battle?" This is why communication after 60 matters so much. Not because older adults suddenly need perfect conversations. Nobody has perfect conversations. But because at this stage of life, the nervous system has often carried many decades of stress, disappointment, responsibility, grief, habit, and survival. And when communication becomes harsh, the body does not experience it as just talking. The body can experience it as threat. The heart rate rises, the breathing becomes shallow, the muscles tighten, the face hardens, the voice changes. And before two people even understand what happened, the conversation is no longer a conversation. It has become protection. One person defends, one person withdraws, one person explains, one person shuts down, one person raises their voice, one person says nothing at all. And then both people walk away feeling more alone than before. This is the hidden problem with communication after 60. Many people think they are arguing about the topic, the bill, the appointment, the children, the house, the schedule, the tone of voice, the thing someone forgot. But underneath, the real issue is often safety. Can I speak and still be loved? Can I disagree and still be respected? Can I be upset without being labelled difficult? Can you listen to me without preparing your counterattack? That is the real conversation. And science helps explain why this matters. When a person feels emotionally flooded, the body can move into a fight or flight state, making it harder to listen, reason, and respond calmly. Relationship researchers often describe this as a moment when the body's stress response takes over and the conversation becomes harder to manage. This is why trying to solve a sensitive issue while both people are activated often does not work. It is like trying to repair a roof during a storm. You may have the right tools, you may even have good intentions, but the weather is working against you. So the first skill in communication after 60 is not speaking better. It is calming the body enough to hear. That may sound simple, but it changes everything. Before you try to make your point, ask yourself, is my body ready for this conversation? Am I breathing normally? Am I speaking to connect or speaking to win? Am I trying to understand or trying to prove? Because if the goal is only to prove, the conversation may become another wall. But if the goal is to understand, even a difficult conversation can become a doorway. After 60, many people have spent years developing communication habits without realizing it. Some people learn to stay silent because speaking up caused trouble. Some learn to fight loudly because they felt ignored. Some learn to become sarcastic because direct honesty felt too vulnerable. Some learn to fix everyone else's problems because feelings made them uncomfortable. Some learn to walk away not because they did not care, but because they did not know how to stay present without feeling overwhelmed. These patterns do not make someone bad. They make them human. But if the pattern keeps creating distance, it needs to be noticed. Not with shame, with honesty. Because communication is not only about the words we choose, it is about the emotional pattern we repeat. One of the most powerful changes after 60 is learning to begin softly. A harsh beginning often leads to a harsh ending. If a conversation begins with blame, the other person's body may prepare for defense before the real issue is even spoken. You never listen. You always do this. You do not care. What is wrong with you? Those phrases may come from real frustration, but they usually do not invite listening. They invite armor. A softer beginning does not mean weakening the truth. It means giving the truth a better chance to be received. Instead of saying, "You never listen," try, "I have been feeling unheard, and I want to talk about it calmly." Instead of saying, "You do not care," Try, I need more support with this than I have been asking for. Instead of saying, you always dismiss me, try, when I share something and it gets brushed aside, I feel alone. This is not about being fake. It is about being effective. The goal is not to unload every feeling like a storm. The goal is to create a conversation where both people can stay present. That requires tone, timing, body language, and the willingness to pause. The pause may be one of the most underrated communication tools after 60. A pause can prevent one sentence from becoming a wound. A pause can stop an argument from becoming a pattern. A pause can give the body time to move out of reaction and back into choice. Before you reply, pause. Before you defend, pause. Before you bring up 10 old examples, pause. Before you say the sentence you know will hurt, pause. That pause is not weakness. It is wisdom. It says, I care more about this relationship than this moment of emotional release. And sometimes, the most loving thing you can say is, I want to talk about this, but I need a few minutes to calm down so I do not say it the wrong way. That sentence can save a conversation. It is not avoidance. Avoidance says, I will not deal with this. A healthy pause says, I will come back better. There is a big difference. Communication after 60 also needs better listening. Not polite listening, not waiting for your turn listening. Real listening. Real listening is not passive, it is active. It says, let me see if I understand. What I hear you saying is, that makes sense that you would feel that way. Tell me more. I did not realize it landed that way. These phrases may sound small, but they change the emotional temperature. They tell the other person, you are not alone in this conversation. And after 60, that matters. Because many people carry quiet loneliness even inside relationships. They may not need more advice. They may need more emotional presence. They may need someone to stop fixing and start hearing. There is a difference between solving and seeing. Solving says, here is what you should do. Seeing says, I understand why this matters to you. Both can be useful. But seeing should usually come first. Because when people feel seen, they become less defensive. When they feel dismissed, they become louder, colder, or more distant. This is why communication is not only emotional, it is relational health. Small, everyday bids for connection, a comment, a question, a touch, a shared laugh, are often described in relationship research as basic units of emotional communication. Turning toward those bids can strengthen connection over time. After 60, this becomes especially important because life can become practical. Appointments, medications, bills, meals, household repairs, news, family concerns, aches and pains. The conversation can become all function and no feeling. And when a relationship becomes only functional, people may begin to feel invisible. So feeling heard is not only about difficult conversations, it is also about daily attention. When someone says, look at this flower, that is communication. When someone says, I had a strange dream, that is communication. When someone says, I feel tired today, that is communication. When someone sighs and looks out the window, that may also be communication. Not every bid is dramatic. Some are very quiet. The question is, do we turn toward each other, or do we keep missing each other? Because many relationships do not fall apart from one giant argument. They drift apart through thousands of missed moments. This is why one of the best communication practices after 60 is simple. Notice. Notice the tone. Notice the silence. Notice the effort. Notice the tiredness. Notice the small invitation to connect. And respond with warmth when you can. Communication also requires repair. Every couple, every family, every friendship will have moments where words come out wrong. The point is not to avoid every mistake. That is impossible. The point is to repair quickly enough that the wound does not become a wall. Repair sounds like, I said that badly. I am sorry. I was frustrated, but I should not have spoken that way. Can we start again? I care about you more than this argument. These are not small sentences. They are bridges. And after 60, bridges matter more than pride. Pride can keep people sleeping in the same house but living in different emotional worlds. Pride can keep adult children and parents from speaking honestly. Pride can turn 10 minutes of conflict into 10 years of distance. And the older we get, the more expensive pride becomes. Because time is no longer something we can assume will stretch forever. So ask the better question. Not, how do I win this? But how do we protect the relationship while telling the truth? That question is mature communication. It does not mean tolerating disrespect. It does not mean silence. It means truth with dignity. It means boundaries without cruelty. It means listening without surrendering yourself. It means speaking without attacking the soul of the other person. After 60, feeling heard without fighting often begins with 3 quiet choices. First, choose the right time. Do not start a serious conversation when someone is exhausted, hungry, distracted, rushing, or already upset. Timing does not solve everything, but bad timing can sabotage a good message. Second, speak from your experience. Say, I feel, I need, I noticed, I would like. This keeps the conversation closer to truth and farther from accusation. Third, ask for one clear thing, not 20 complaints. One clear request. I would like us to eat dinner without phones twice a week. I would like you to tell me before plans change. I would like 10 minutes to talk without being interrupted. I would like us to take a walk when things feel tense. Clear requests are easier to respond to than emotional fog. Many people fight because the real need has not been named. So name it. Gently, clearly, without making the other person guess. And remember this. Some people will not know how to hear you at first. If a relationship has had years of tension, one good conversation may not change everything. But one good conversation can begin changing the pattern, and patterns are where relationships live. The goal is not to become perfect communicators. The goal is to become safer communicators. People who can pause, people who can repair, people who can listen without turning every feeling into a debate, people who can say, I hear you, even when they do not fully agree. Because being heard does not always mean being agreed with. That is important. You can feel heard even when someone sees things differently. You can feel respected even when there is disagreement. The problem is not difference. The problem is dismissal. The problem is contempt. The problem is emotional shutdown. The problem is fighting to protect pride instead of listening to protect love. So after 60, let communication become less about noise and more about connection. Less about who is right, more about what is true. Less about reacting, more about responding. Less about defending the old pattern, more about building a better one. Because the people we love do not need perfect speeches from us. They need presence. They need honesty. They need warmth. They need repair. They need to know that difficult conversations will not destroy the relationship. That is how people feel safe. That is how people feel heard. That is how closeness returns. Not all at once, not magically, but one conversation at a time, one pause at a time, one repair at a time, one brave, gentle truth at a time. In the next episode, we will widen the lens and talk about something deeper than money alone. True, wealth after 60, health, love, purpose, all of them love, purpose, freedom and joy. Because a rich life is not only measured by what is in the bank, it is measured by how safe you feel in your body, how connected you feel in your relationships, how much meaning still fills your days, and whether your ordinary life still carries moments of aliveness. Until then, speak with courage, listen with patience, and stay re-inspired.
I hope this video brought you value and re-inspired you. If so, please subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment. And if anybody you know could use a little re-inspiration, please send it to them. Thank you so much for watching.